I'd been on holiday in Mozambique and partied too much the night before and wasn't feeling all that great that day, was messing around, and before I knew it, I'd been on a lilo and swept out from the mouth of the lagoon where it was been super calm, glassy water into just the most incredibly huge waves I'd ever seen. At first, I sort of brushed it off myself and I thought, I'll just swim back or I'll get brought in by the waves or whatever. But as each one broke over me and I could barely get up to get a breath before the next one crashed and the next one and the next one. And there was a moment in that where I suddenly realised, I actually think this might be it. And it was a little bit surprising because I thought, I never thought that this would be the end this way, but wow. And completely out of nowhere, I felt I'd sort of been tumbled and then my hands or my feet or something scraped against sand, and I sort of managed to get my bearings a little bit, managed to kind of put my head up. I basically washed up on the shore in a foot of water, and a friend who was relatively close by, because they had seen it all happening, they'd seen how far out I was, and he was in the shallows and said, what on earth happened? I think it was quite a lot of swearing went on because of how stupid I'd been. And I couldn't explain it. He couldn't explain it, that suddenly I had been so far out and then appeared almost at his feet. I brushed it off and it became a bit of a joke. But years later, just after I'd come to faith, I was at a Christian festival and I had taken a lot of courage to get there, but found myself in this worship, was also feeling a little bit self-conscious, but had my eyes closed, and the worship song came on that was talking about waves, and the next thing I found myself back in that water, but except I was watching myself almost from a little bit higher up, and I was in the waves, I was in the water, but except this time there was a man in the water with me, and I knew immediately that was Jesus. It was like he was saying to me, every single time that you have been in trouble, that you have needed me, even though you didn't know me, I was there, and I still am there. I will be with you every single time that it seems like all hope is lost.